Well, a teacher is warning Australians about an artificial intelligence scam he fell for that conned him out of his entire life savings, leaving his family in financial tatters.
After seeing his favourite musician, Nick Cave, speaking about a good investment opportunity, the Melbourne man decided to cash in. It turns out it was a deep fake that ended with him losing $130,000.
Now, according to Scam Watch, a reported $43.4 million has been stolen since the start of the year, with $30 million of that related to fake investment scams. So for more, financial author and founder of Pivot Wealth, Ben Nash, joins us. Good day, Ben. How are you doing?
Hey, Ben.
AI scams are becoming more sophisticated, putting, of course, our hard-earned cash at risk. How do these deep fakes work?
Well, most commonly what we see online is that there's cloning of social media profiles. I see this a lot with the content that we put out as well, and they basically pull your profile picture, pull some of your content, and then start messaging people. And, you know, in finance cases, they're looking at investing, generally promising some really high returns, which should be an immediate flag for anyone that comes across this. But it is getting more sophisticated. We're seeing increasingly issues like the one that we're talking about here, where they're using AI avatars of people to create talking videos that are also promoting these same scams. And it's terrible to see people losing their hard-earned cash.
Ben, the scammers are really clever, these videos and AI, so it's so slick, right? How do we start? Where do we start to protect ourselves? How can we do it?
Well, I think the first thing is just being aware of how common this is. Yeah. And so having that heightened awareness when you're online, I know that a lot of people talk about that, but it is really important. Also being aware, particularly when you're looking at doing research or coming across investment opportunities, try and validate that through some external web searches instead of just, clicking through a piece of content or a social media profile, because it can be easy for them to redirect you to a site that looks quite like the real deal as well. Being aware that also, any investment opportunities in Australia are regulated under APRA, who are the regulator of financial markets. And so they're going to have product disclosure statements and financial services guides and know your client obligations. Like, they're going to make you jump through quite a few hoops in order to actually set up an investment, like what we do with our clients. There's all of these things that we need to do. It's never going to be that they just say, transfer some money into this bank account. Like, that should be an immediate warning. If anyone ever says that, run for the hills.
Yeah. But in the first instance, stop, never click through. If you think you want to follow the advice of whoever that is, go out and try and do it. And then you'll find Nick Cave never in a million years would have spoken about investment stuff. What are banks and social media giants like Meta doing to stop it?
Well, there's reports of Meta being more around trying to shut these down, which is really positive to hear. I think it's worth noting, though, that with the extent of these scams, it is quite difficult for that. So I certainly wouldn't be relying on the platforms themselves to control it. I think it requires everyone's own vigilance to do that.
OK, let's move on to housing. As predicted, we're going to see a property boom on the back of these expected interest rate cuts. What does that mean for people wanting to buy a home now?
Well, typically what we see when interest rates start being cut is that the housing prices do increase again, and off the growth in property prices that we've seen over the last few years, for anyone that's not in the property market, they're probably concerned that they're going to be even more priced out. With interest rate cuts expected to be happening early in the new year, I think that cause for concern is real.
So what do they need to do now?
Well, I think that a lot of people have looked at the house prices and thought that they've just been priced out, or that, it's all too hard. And I get that housing affordability is a real challenge, but it is possible with the right approach. Maybe it means sacrifices in the short term, or maybe it means a smart strategy, but do what you can to get into the market, because the crash is not coming. It's not going to get any easier. The longer you wait, typically the harder it's going to be.
OK. Silly season isn't far away. It's coming in real quick now.
Scary.
Add that to the cost of living crisis, of course. Plenty of people doing it really tough. What do we need to do now to plan ahead, to budget a little bit coming up to Christmas?
Well, look, it can be a big drain on your cash flow, and typically the more organised you are when it comes to the Christmas season and gift giving, the cheaper it can be. I think we've all been there. You sort of leave it to the last minute, you're rushing around, and then all of a sudden you end up spending a lot more money to get gifts. So trying to plan plan ahead. Get creative as much as you can. Trying to avoid the buy now, pay later and credit cards, which will then set you back for the new year as well. And maybe a little bit of a cheeky one, but think about giving some donations. Everyone likes a good charity. We've probably all got enough stuff these days. Plus, you get some tax deductions on top.
Okay, so some tips for starting the new year financially strong. Don't get into debt in the first place.
Yeah, look, I think
Christmas presents.
the biggest thing that you can do is to start the financial year in a decent position. Like, it's natural for people to spend more over the holidays. That's completely fine. But if you start the new year and you're already chasing your tail, trying to dig yourself out of the hole with a credit card, can be really hard work. And then before you know it, you've missed out on that New Year's momentum. So trying to do something or anything this side of the new year to put yourself in that position, then you can actually get the motivation that you get in the new year working for you instead of against you.
Great stuff. Great advice as always, Ben. Thanks for coming in, mate. Nice to see you. For more financial insights, Virgin Millionaire by Ben Nash is out now.
He's not talking about himself. It's how to become a millionaire for the first time. Yeah. Right.
Yes, that's right.
Thank you.